Hi, welcome to the second episode of Cooking with Me. My name is Lindsay, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button down below, and you will get notified every time a recipe drops. Every Thursday, it's coming at you. So, welcome. What I do here is I cooked animal-based meals. Not only are they simple and nutrient dense, but they can also be extremely delicious. And so I want to show you some tips, tricks, tools I use in the kitchen, all of the above. And in case you just miss some things during the 1-minute reels over there on Instagram, you can find them all here. So excited to have you. Let's dive into what we're cooking today. What are we cooking? Bone marrow. So this bone marrow is super amazing. And I know it seems daunting at first because, you probably never cooked it or you just don't know what to do with it, which is totally okay. But I'm here to tell you that it is so easy and so delicious, and you can just upgrade any meal. You can top your burgers with it. You could cook eggs in it. It's super amazing. I like to replace it with butter sometimes too. So just any different fats. I like to, if you have a leaner cut of meat like bison or venison or anything like that, just add a little bone marrow to it. It's so yummy. Not to mention that you can just do it by itself. So not only that, but bone marrow is so nutrient dense and it's so good. It will nourish you from the inside out, especially when we're talking about our skin. Just gives you that glow. These are really it's good to put in bone broth. It's great for collagen. It has peptides, growth factors, and stem cells, all to support vital tissues throughout the body. So let me show you how to cook it. Very simple. Take your bone marrow. Now, this is canoe cut, okay? This is cut lengthwise like this. Sometimes you guys may often find it cut around this way, which is totally okay. I just like canoe cut because it's easy to scoop out and you can get super creative. It just looks pretty. Presentation on a nice big cutting board is really awesome. So this could even be the entire meal, right? Put a little bit of tartare on there, but that's me just getting creative. So anyways, so that's what we do. So we are gonna set the oven to 375, which I already did. So that is already heated up to 375, so just make sure you do that. And then you're gonna obviously pull your bone marrow out of the fridge. I like to get it to room temperature before I prepare it. So you can actually eat bone marrow raw, which there's some salt in here, so I just kind of scoop that up, which is super yummy. So if you wanted to try it, go for it. You can add a little honey on it too. It's great. Or if you want to roast it, which you do get a lot of flavor from roasting, and I absolutely love it, is sure, you might denature some of the nutrients a little bit anytime that you cook or freeze anything, but as a cuisinivore that is like cooking, human that loves being creative in the kitchen and just different variety and styles, I am going to cook this today. So take your bone marrow, and then I am using Redmond's real salt, and then I'm going to sprinkle it on the bone marrow, and I'm going to kind of rub it in nicely. Then I will flip it over, and the thing about flipping it over, it's a secret actually. There's some nice meaty pieces that get cooked once you pull it out of the oven, and so I actually like to pull it and rip it off the bone, and it's super the meat on the outside of the bone is super tasty, of course, as well as the bone marrow. All right, guess what? We're done prepping. That's literally it. It's so easy and so delicious. And so what I'm going to do now is with this, I'm gonna put it in the oven. It's set at 375. Go ahead and put it in the middle, just directly in the middle. Then we're gonna set our timer for 20 minutes. Great, that's set and ready to go. And guess what? We can prep the rest of dinner, or we can do whatever we want, but we just have 20 minutes before it's done and ready and super delicious. So I'll show you what happens once I take it out of the oven. Okay, 20 minutes is up. Let's go ahead and see what we've got here in the oven. Oh my gosh, beautiful. First off, yes, this is what you want. I'm gonna come around and show you, but let me just close the oven door really quickly. And yes, I'm gonna turn this off. This is a new oven, so I'm still getting used to the buttons here, but let me kind of bring this up and show you what it looks like. Look how beautiful that is. Ooh, you hear that? So that's the bone marrow at the bottom right there. It's super yummy. So you wanna just make sure too that you pour all of it on your dish, or when you are saving it for leftovers or something in a dish, in a glass container that you can put in the fridge. So this is it. Honestly, I would, if I were you, try it. Once this cools, you're gonna need it to cool a little bit so that you can handle the bone a little bit better. Obviously, it would be hard to handle, so I would set it aside, and then when you're ready, scoop it out. It's just that easy. So I'll give it a second to cool, and I'll show you how easy it's going to be. But I wanted to also tell you where you can purchase bone marrow. So any grocery store honestly should have it by the butcher section. So just ask the butcher at the grocery store. I definitely find it in Whole Foods, not all the time though. So it may be sold out, or they just may not have any. So ask the butcher, and it would be in the freezer section really close to them. You can go to a farmer's market, or you can go to a local butcher and ask them for bones. You can also shop online at some of my favorite farms that are regenerative, all 100% grass-fed bones, and those are White Oak Pastures, North Star Bison, Primal Pastures, as well as Shirttail Creek Farm, and that's what this one is from Shirttail Creek. And like I said, I love it because he does canoe cut, and some of the other ones do it too as well. So yeah, so that's where you can find it, and it's super easy. And I love it, and I love it to upgrade any sort of meal. So I'm gonna actually just take this right now with just my, there we go, with this towel, so that you can see just how easy it is to scoop. So what you're gonna do is, look at, do you see it? Oh my gosh, that drip, okay? So you can see the consistency of it. I'm gonna bring it up here. You see that? And it's like, oh, it's so yum. It's so tasty. Anyways, I really hope that you make this, and it's super rich too. So I would do just a little bit, like I said, as you would butter, use it as butter. You can top it on top of your ground beef burger. It's so amazing. I wouldn't necessarily do it on a ribeye or anything super fatty, just because this is super rich and fatty. I would do it on more leaner cuts. What else can you use it in? Eggs? Okay, so instead of putting butter or tallow in the pan, just put a little bit of this in, and it's like eggs are taken to a whole nother level with this. So that's that. There's also, you could do bone marrow tacos, which here in Austin, there's a place called Commodore that I initially got the inspiration from doing bone marrow tacos. And it was actually during a time of COVID. And that was the first time that I've ever seen them in tacos, and they had a take-home kit. And so essentially they give you the bone marrows, they give you the instructions, and then they give you the ingredients to dress it with. So what it was there was a bunch of different ingredients on there, and at that time I wasn't really eating animal-based, or I had almost was just about to. So they still had things in there that, like, such as cilantro and things that I wouldn't eat today. Anyways, put some of that on there and then wrap it in a little taco and eat it. So I have animal-based recipes for tortillas. I have recipes for any sort of taco tortilla. So it's cheese and egg or plantain and egg. So those are on my Instagram page, and I'll probably be making them here as well. So we can probably make some bone marrow tacos with these too. Anyways, I hope that you enjoy this recipe, and this brings me joy to share this delicacy with you because, like I said, it's just so simple, and I want you to know that this can absolutely be simple. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me on my second episode. Please don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. We'll see you next week.